Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another Degrassi review. We're going to be reviewing episode 35. We're going to be reviewing episode 34 called My Hero. This episode was very boring. Yet again, Becky is still playing this online game. I hate it because I feel like they could have gave her a better storyline to, dial in. They could have gave her something more. I just want to know what happened to those important storylines in Degrassi. Why was everything just relationship based? Like, I know I understand times. This was like what 2013 when the season came out. 2013 maybe. I understand times is different and kids was more on social media. So of course, like in the other generation, they didn't really have social media. So of course that's why it felt more real. That's why it felt like when they felt unloved or neglected, they got into things like alcohol, like drugs, or start hanging out with the wrong crowd that's in guns and violence. Those storylines is what should be talked about when it comes to kids. Instead, you just have her escape from reality on a video game, and it's like, who the fuck can we connect with that? I guess kids who feel like loners, I guess, but like I just said, there's other worse things your kid could be doing. I'm not going to be getting on my kid's ass because they want to be on their laptop all day and play video games. There's other worse things they could be doing. And that's why I felt like, the newer generation, did they have good storylines? Yes, but I feel like when it came to that importance and really connecting with the audience, connecting with the teenagers who are still watching, they lacked because they were really hitting towards that minorities of who are really social media heavy. And you could really tell, like, in season 13 and 14 in next class, it was very social media heavy. Like, if they were feeling stuck away, it would always go on social media. Safe range, that's how they would get a rise out of someone. It was never like, it was just different. Like, that's really all I can say. That's why I say I like the newer generation better. The old generation. The newer generation isn't bad, but the other generation, it just felt like if I wanted my kids to watch Degrassi, I would tell them to watch the older generation. Because like I said, the older generation didn't have any social media. So they weren't able to put their feelings and shit on social media when they felt neglected or felt unloved or whatever it was they were going through. They were dialing alcohol, drugs, or, going around with the wrong crowd, shit like that. That is storylines that you could connect with your audience. I'm not upset that they use social media for the newer generation, because nowadays that's what we're doing. We're on our laptops, we're on our phones, we're on Instagram. You feel me? Like, that's just what we are doing today in this generation. But at the same time, it's the most fucked up thing, because it's like niggas can't communicate anymore. And that's the wrong thing. Your whole story nowadays got to be on social media. If it ain't, then you're weird. So that's what that is. This episode is kind of boring. The storyline that they gave Zig, it's too many episodes too late to where I don't even give a fuck. I totally forgot that they even gave Zig a plot where, he was cooking and that, that he was starting to reconcile with his mother again, but that never went anywhere. Like, you only saw that one time when he sat down and talked to his mother. We never even knew what the conversation was. It's never, brought back up again, the conversation he had with his mom. So it's just dumb. Like, why give him a storyline if you're not going to go the whole way with it? That's my issue today with these Degrassi storylines now and the other generations. They do something where they give a storyline to someone and then it's kind of over with. It's like, what happened to them stretching out? You don't have to wrap up a storyline in 1 or 2 episodes. Stop showing that same storyline. Let somebody else shine and then stretch that storyline out. You don't have to wrap something up in 1 or 2 episodes. You feel me? So it's just the whole Zig thing, I just really don't care for, because I felt like it's just too many episodes too late. Like, he should have then got an episode about what happened to his mom. I've been said is instead of showing it in I always say they should have gave Zig a flashback episode. They should have gave us a flashback episode. Like, they should have did an episode where it's just from his perspective, and they should have did an episode where maybe he in therapy, or he, wherever he was doing, what was it, I think he was in ex-gang members, they would go around and talk and shit like that. They should have did something where, he was explaining how everything kind of happened, like how he got into the drugs and how he started selling and how he got into the game. You not doing that shit. I don't really get many answers. I'm just still to this day, I still have too many fucking questions on why the fuck was Zig selling drugs to begin with. Was he helping his mama pay the bills? Was he helping her with the rent? Was he trying to help them keep the convenience store going? Or like, they never explained why was he selling drugs to begin with. Why is he in this life? It's because he was rolling around with Tiny his best friend, and Tiny comes from a lifestyle where mother a crackhead, daddy in jail, brother is a thug, so it's just like projected onto him as a butterfly effect, and now he's running around with Zig, a cut kid. Now they become best friends, and now all of a sudden, that lifestyle is pressure onto Zig. Like, these are like ideas that I'm coming up with that they could have done. But you know what, Degrassi, they didn't try, man. They did not try. So it's just like, it's just stupid for honestly. One of the things I definitely liked in this episode was when Drew was talking to Imogen. I think people mistake Drew for being a player. I think Drew was a really sweet gentleman. Like, when he kissed Imogen on the cheek because of the advice she gave him, I thought that was sweet. You feel me? I think nowadays, if you're a guy that's sweet and you're a gentleman, women take it as you're being flirtatious. No, it's just that some men were raised to be gentlemen. Holding the door and holding a woman's hand out of the car, pulling her chair out for her, pulling her chair up. That's gentleman shit. Holding the door, that's gentleman shit. Period. It's not, oh, he's flirting with me. No, it's me being a gentleman. I'm not interested, not saying I couldn't be, but I'm just saying I'm just being a gentleman. That's just how my mama raised me, and I just feel like, Drew was talking to Imogen, expressing to her, how he lost his job, and he gave her a kiss on the cheek. People like to say, oh, he a player. It's like, no, he's not a fucking player. He's a gentleman. He just appreciated the advice that she gave him, and you gotta think, Drew and Imogen are two people from the senior class who don't really talk for real. So obviously he appreciated that advice that she gave him. So whatever, because nobody was understanding where he was coming from, because Miles' dad was completely in the wrong for firing him because of something that his wife did. His wife was the one who sent this teenager boy's boobs, and you're firing him because your wife committed an act. If anything, her act should have been what? Locked up. Are you kidding me? The fuck she's sending a teenager boy a fucking nude pic? Where is we doing that at? And then nowadays, when are we mad at the victims instead of the people who actually committed the fucking crime? I just don't get it. Like, it's just so dumb. I think Drew should have made that call to City Hall or whatever and said, yeah, you're a mayor, he cheating, and he trying to put on this act that he a good family man, and he a good husband, a good father. I would have made that call, and I was surprised that Miles was trying to protect his dad. It's like, don't you hate this nigga? You should be right on board. I know I will, but nigga, make that call. Make it. Make the call, nigga. I would have done the same thing. And then if I was Drew better than me, because I would tell that nigga to write me up 3 checks, nigga. I know they say money is the root of all evil, and this might be hush money, but I would have told that nigga, you got to write me up 3 checks. And if you want me to never make that call, you got to pay for my college. Nigga, you got to pay for everything. If I come here and ask you for something, you got to pay it. I don't give a fuck, nigga. It ain't like you going to be losing money. The fuck, nigga? If not, you got to write me up 3 checks, nigga. Is that or 3 checks? The fuck is you talking about? Like, that or 3 checks. Like, you feel me? But Drew is so better than me. But let's talk about one of the main things in this episode that really pissed me off. The conversation that Drew and Claire had. I still do not feel like Drew owed Claire anything. Not a sorry, not a nothing. At the end of the day, I understand that Drew felt like, him and Claire fooling around might have ended their friendship, and that's why I say fucking your friends or sleeping with your friends is not a good idea, because if y'all sleep together or whatever the case may be, now the friendship is tarnished because someone at the end of the day is going to get their feelings hurt. So I understand him apologizing for that they were really good friends before, the sexual attraction or the confusingness got in the way. But at the same time, he don't owe Claire an explanation, because she still ran back to Eli. And even in that hint of that conversation, she said she needed to call Eli. So it's like, girl, how is Drew in the wrong for already seeing what the fuck is about to happen? He saw that Claire and Eli were going to get back together. He saw that things were kind of not done or unfinished, because if they were, then when he gave her the ultimatum, yes, she broke up with Eli, but it wasn't over though. That was the problem. Even though she broke up with Eli, it wasn't over, and that was the problem. I think some of y'all kind of missee the reason why he did not want to be with Claire. If he was going to get together with Claire, he was going to be nothing other than her rebound, and I don't think that's cool. So I understand him apologizing for saying that he wished that them being around each other wouldn't be so difficult, I guess you can say. But at the same time, this is why you shouldn't have sex with your friends. I've never had sex with any of my friends. I don't get people who say they can fuck their friends and they can just go back to being normal. There is nothing normal about that, because I like having my friends, and I wouldn't want to lose them because if we fuck or they catch feelings for me. I don't feel that way. I just saw them as a hit and quit it. Of course, they would be mad at me. So I get that aspect that Claire felt like, they were really good friends before feelings got in the way, and that she wanted to go back to being that way. But at the same time, Claire, why couldn't you have said that instead of making it seem like he was the bad guy, huh? Why couldn't she just tell Drew that she wanted things to go back to being normal and that she wanted them to go back to being friends? Instead, she walked around making it seem like that he was the bad guy because he set a boundary and told her that he's not going to be her rebound. Like, everybody love making Drew seem like the bad guy, and I hate that. Like, y'all would do anything in your power to make him the bad guy. He is definitely one of the most overrated characters in Degrassi, and I just don't get it. What did Drew do to y'all? Did he hurt one of y'all favorite characters? I just want to know. Like, tell me what the fuck did he did that is so goddamn the Antichrist for him to get all this hate. I just don't get it. But anyways, that's my take on this episode. Like I said, this episode 34, My Hero. This episode's kind of fucking boring. Definitely an episode I definitely can skip. Definitely not something I'll probably ever rewatch again. Kind of fucking boring. Catch you guys in my next